What are your comments on, what are your take on what he's doing?
Look, Jimmy, throughout history, you've had demagogues trying to divert attention away from the real issues. This country today faces some enormous problems. We have a middle class that's disappearing. We have almost all new wealth and income going to the top 1%. We got climate change. We have a corrupt campaign finance system. And what somebody like a Trump is trying to do is to divide us up. A few months ago, we were supposed to hate Mexicans, and he thinks they're all criminals or rapists. Now we're supposed to hate Muslims. And that kind of crap is not going to work in the United States of America.
Donald Trump makes incendiary comments about Hispanics. His numbers rise. Donald Trump spits out memories that some people say never happened. His numbers rise. Donald Trump wants to close America's borders to an entire global religion. The numbers skyrocket. And there is absolutely nothing anyone in the Republican Party can do about it. Have we reached the moment of GOP surrender? And does that mean Democrats are wringing their hands with glee? The only show that covers politics every night from both sides of the Beltway coin is right here, From the Left. A veteran working with Democratic candidates and their political campaigns for many years, CEO of Bannon Communications, Brad Bannon. From the right, news director of the Tea Party News Network and syndicated columnist and ardent supporter of Donald Trump, Scottie Nell Hughes. Want to thank you both for being here. And Scottie Nell, I'm going to begin with you. I had to point that out because you are and always have been a big supporter of Donald Trump. So is this nothing more than sour grapes? But wait a minute, this is sour grapes coming from the right, from the left, and even from leaders overseas who now say that Donald Trump has overstepped himself. Has he, in your opinion, as a supporter?
You know what? First of all, I support all the conservative candidates. In fact, all the conservative candidates are at the top of the list. And I don't know why you're saying sour grapes, because in the end, I don't.
No, wait a minute. Don't misunderstand me. I'm saying sour grapes, maybe in your opinion, from the other candidates, because the other candidates are screaming against him. So are they just going after him because they're buried in the polls?
But that's it. It's the other candidates. It's world leaders. It's Democrats. They're all screaming. But guess who's happy? The people that Donald Trump and these conservatives are representing, because they're the majority. That's why this is not sour grapes. That's why you have a very optimistic spirit in America today. Now, granted, we're all putting up our shields because we're getting the daggers thrown at it. But we're used to that. We're conservatives. We're used to being the target.
But what about going after Donald Trump, though, Scottie Nell? I know you're speaking about all conservatives. What about the ones going after Donald Trump? Do you think that they're all wrong?
No, I think bring the daggers on. That's the thing the media, as well as these establishment guys, have not figured out. They've always been the enemy of the people. So as long as they're sitting there and they're going against Donald Trump, that just reiterates and confirms in our minds they have their own agenda, and it's not what the people want.
All right, Brad, from the left side then, what about that agenda? What about what people want? Because, hey, let's look at it this way. Donald Trump's got huge numbers right now, and he even claims that some Democrats would vote for him at this stage.
Well, I'm sure they would, but I think the best comment I heard about Donald Trump's rampage, for want of a better word, was from a very strong conservative, the former Vice President Dick Cheney, who said it's everything that it's against everything America stands for. And if Dick Cheney says that, he's about as conservative as you can get. The other thing is Mr. Trump is fond of throwing out these major policy pronouncements without worrying about the practicalities. Do we deny entrance to the families of the Saudi and Jordanian pilots who are flying combat missions against ISIS right now? And several of them have been killed. The other consideration is a constitutional one. The First Amendment prohibits any kind of religious test.
Okay, stop there one sec, because you're right on that. I got you on all of that, but I know that Scottie Nell's chomping at the bit.
I am, because first of all, don't even bring up the Constitution, because we're not talking about U.S. citizens here. Nothing Mr. Trump, and I know the people on the left and the establishment are liking to spin it, all he is referring to is immigrants, those that are not U.S. citizens, and guess what? They don't have constitutional rights.
Well, but he's also talking about tourists, Scottie Nell. To be fair, he's also talking about tourists, anybody who's Muslim.
And at this point, until we can figure out what exactly is going on, and those people on the left, like my colleague over there, he should be angry at people like Harry Reid and Barbara Boxer and all of these other government officials that have created this immigration system that has allowed ISIS and these Islamic terrorists to come into the United States.
Okay, I'm going to stop you right there on the immigration system because I want to get Brad on here. I only got about 90 seconds left. Brad, there was a new poll from Bloomberg Politics. Says that nearly 2/3 of the likely Republican primary voters are in favor of Trump's temporary ban on Muslims. We're showing it right now. Brad, isn't it left, right, indifferent? Doesn't make a difference at this point. We as Americans have got to be concerned with the fact that there are people coming here who want to kill us. I get the fact that religion, everything, but isn't that just a concern somewhere along the line for everybody?
Well, I think, again, I believe Vice President Cheney is right when he says
he was under the Bush administration.
Hang on, Scottie Nell. Hang on. Give him his chance. Go ahead, Brad.
Dick Cheney said it's against everything America stands for. And I think he's right. The Constitution applies to the government. It says the government cannot apply religious tests to anybody. And thirdly, what are we going to do with those Saudi pirates and the Jordanian pilots who are risking their lives every day and who are Muslims flying combat missions against ISIS?
Okay, I've only got 20 seconds left, so I'm going to hit you both with a final question. 20 seconds left, final question for you both. Brad, first of all to you, 10 seconds to you. Do you think that what Donald Trump has said this time will hurt his possibility of winning the presidency, at least winning the GOP nomination?
No, I don't know. It may help him win the GOP nomination, but it will destroy his chances of getting into the White House.
10 seconds to you, Scottie Nell. Answer that question. Same one.
Absolutely not, because whether you're a Republican, Democrat, Libertarian, keeping your family safe is number one, and that is Donald Trump's priority.
And here we have to go. Listen, I thank you both for being here. Trust me, we got a lot more to talk about as we go on through the next couple of months. Scottie Nell Hughes, Brad Bannon, thank you so much for joining us. Stay with us. The fastest 60 minutes of news, The Hard Line. We take it from all sides. Continues.